All right, y'all. 2024 is almost over. We just had Christmas. We're getting ready to prepare for the New Year's and all the holidays and such and whatever. Hope you guys had a good Christmas, by the way, or Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, y'all. Hope you had a good time. Hope it was good. Hope you got everything you wanted. Anyways, we got our champions solidified at the end of 2024. Now we're gonna do our best to predict who I think is going to be the champion by the end of 2025 next year. By the final pay-per-view, by December 31st of 2025, who will be the champion in all of the men's divisions and the women's divisions. And I'm just going to give my best to predict who I think will stay on top or regain or gain the throne and new. Anyways, I'm going to start with the women's divisions. I'm going to start with strawweight. I think this one's pretty cut and dry, but Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili is quickly, I wouldn't say quickly, but she's solidifying herself as one of the best strawweights of all time. Obviously, I think she's top three. I mean, yeah, her and Jędrzejczyk and Rose Namajunas, top three, pretty clear. And I think she could be on track to GOAT status. We'll have to see how her title defenses go, though. She, I believe, is booked to face Tatiana Suarez in 2025. I believe she'll beat Suarez. Suarez just doesn't offer that many real threats for Weili, in my opinion. And then the next contender would be Virna Jandiroba. Virna offers, I believe, a more... I think she is more of a threat to Weili than Suarez is. She's got that submission game, but I don't believe it's anything that Weili hasn't seen before, and I believe she'd run through Suarez. And if she fights twice in 2025, which is a huge if because she's only really fighting once a year, which really sucks. I want her to fight more. I hate her inactivity because she's such a good fighter, and I want to see her more, but... maybe she'll fight Jandiroba in late 2025 or more likely 2026. And I just think she's too dominant. She's going to stay on top. No one's going to beat her. No one offers, like I said, a significant threat to her. And I think she is on track to becoming, at the very least, the second greatest strawweight of all time, if not maybe the greatest. Her and Rose are in a weird position. I think Rose is in a weird position in the GOAT conversation. She's beat Jędrzejczyk and Weili twice, but whatever, I digress. That's a topic for another video. Yeah, I just don't think anyone's beaten Weili. Also, she's probably on steroids, but whatever. All right, 70% of the roster's on steroids anyways. Doesn't matter. Anyways, we're moving on to the flyweight division. At flyweight... Originally, I actually had Shevchenko retaining her title. I could see Shevchenko beating Fiorot. I 100% could see her beating Fiorot. I think Fiorot is just kind of decent everywhere, and she has heavy hands. She has decent combos, but I just think that after thinking it through more, I think Shevchenko's getting older. She had a trilogy of fights with Grasso, and I just think that it's Manon's time. I think Manon's going to beat her. Like I said, I think Grasso's past, just a wee bit past her prime as of now. And she's not as dangerous as she used to be. I remember back in the day, she was getting a decent amount of finishes and she was incredibly dominant. And I just think her danger factor is gone now, and I think that Fiorot is going to be fresher. She's younger and she's going to be hungrier, and I think she's probably going to get the title from Shevchenko, although I would not be surprised if Shevchenko was able to retain. And I don't think anyone else is. If Fiorot gains the title, no one's beating Fiorot. She already beat Blanchfield. I'd say she beats Macy Barber. She's already beat Rose Namajunas. I'd say she beats Alexa Grasso too. I think that'd be a pretty close fight, honestly. But I still think she'd beat all the other girls in the top five and Rose Namajunas. She's already beat Rose Namajunas as number 6, and probably Natalia Silva too. She'd beat Natalia Silva in my opinion. Natalia Silva's really good. She's pretty good, but I still think she beats Silva. Anyways, bantamweight division. Yeah, Kayla Harrison, you knew it was coming. Pena is just not skilled at all. She's just not. And I know Pennington isn't skilled either, and Pennington is just old and a grizzled vet. That's how she got the title from Buena Silva. But yeah, like I said, Pena is just not skilled at all, and Kayla Harrison's just probably going to be able to bulldoze her. I know she kind of looked in her last fight. I cannot remember for the life of me what the opponent of Harrison was in the last fight, but I know she kind of looked people were like, oh, she didn't demolish her or whatever, but like, whatever. She's going to demolish Pena. She'll beat Pena. She'll be champion. She'll stay champion probably for a little bit. I don't see anyone beating her soon. Maybe Kayla Harrison isn't going to be a dominant, GOAT status champion, but she'll stay on top for a pretty long time, in my opinion. All right, on to the men's division now. Men's flyweight, easy. Alexander Pantoja, no one beats him. No one beats him for a while. I know he's getting up there in age, kinda. He's not as young as DJ was in his time, so he doesn't have the potential to go as long as DJ did, but that whatever. Like, he beats Kai Kara-France. He's already beat Royval twice. He's beat Moreno 3 times, and I guess we can say he already beat Kara-France if we're counting Ultimate Fighter fights. He's already beat Kara-France. He beat Kopp. He beat Urseg already. He's beat Schnell. He's beat Perez. He's beat Nicolau. I know Schnell's not in the rankings anymore, or I don't believe he's even fighting anymore. But yeah, he's beat Nicolau. He's beat Perez. And we've already seen Albazi isn't title material after he got his butt whooped by Moreno. But yeah, who else is there? Rasul Amabayev. Maybe Manel Kopp. Manel Kopp would be a fresh matchup-ish. But yeah, like I said, no one's able to beat him right now. Even if Makayev were to come back, I think that Pantoja would still beat Makayev. He's going to be champion for a very long time, and even looking down in the rankings, even in Joshua Van or any other of the up-and-comers that are coming up in the flyweight rankings, no one else beats him. No one's going to beat him for a long time, and I think that Pantoja will retire with the belt. He will retire on top. That's just my opinion. Maybe he loses the belt in 2 or 3 years when he's out of his prime and he gets beat by a young up-and-coming fighter, and then it's like, oh yeah, well, he's washed now. But, like I said, I see him staying on top until the end, and I think it's a good possibility that he could retire with the belt. Anyways, on to the bantamweight division. Speaking of Pantoja, even if he does decide that he wants to move up to bantamweight, I'm not picking him to beat anyone that's championship caliber at bantamweight. I think Merab just out-cardios him. I believe Umar is way more skilled than he is, and he outsizes him by a lot, too. I don't know that he beats O'Malley. He could beat O'Malley. He could beat Sandhagen, but I'm not confident on that. And looking at any of the others, Peter Yan, I don't think he'd beat Yan. Figueiredo rematch would be interesting to see, but at this point, I think he might beat Figueiredo. Who knows? But anyways, Pantoja, not in the question for bantamweight, but Umar's going to stay champion. Now, I think, like I said, obviously he's going to beat Merab in his upcoming title fight in January. January 18th, I believe it is. UFC 311, 312. I don't know what number we're on. I'm tired, dude. But Umar is just so much more skilled everywhere than Merab is. And I know Merab has the stupid cardio and he can just goblin wrestle people, but Umar isn't just going to be stuffing takedowns and looking to not get taken down. He has the skill set to reverse Merab. I think he has the skill set to out-grapple Merab if he wants to. He's much bigger than Merab is. and he's better on the feet. He doesn't have to worry about a thing on the feet, and he doesn't have to worry about anything on the ground. Like I said, Corey Sandhagen, that Corey Sandhagen fight, like, Corey Sandhagen was looking to not get taken down, to stuff Umar's takedowns when they fought. Kind of contrast that with Umar fighting Merab. Merab's maybe going to be looking to take him down. Merab doesn't have to worry. If Merab gets taken down, he's not out of his element. He's in his element, and he's better at scrambles. He's better at reversing positions. He's better at submissions, and he's better on the feet. And I think he will finish Merab at some point in the fight. And I think he will stay champion till the end of 2025. If he decides to fight maybe at the end of 2025 as well. Excuse me, sorry, I got a little burps. Sorry, I just ate dinner. I think he beats an O'Malley. I think he beats Peter Yan. I think he beats, I don't know, who else is in title contention at bantamweight right now? That's the only people you got. You got O'Malley, you got Peter Yan. Yeah, not really anybody else. But I think he stays champion for a decently long time at bantamweight. I don't know how many people are going to be able to beat this guy, but we'll just have to see. He at the very least stays champion till the end of 2025. Anyways, moving on to featherweight. I want to preface this by saying that I know there's been a lot of talk about Topuria moving up and vacating. I don't know how solid those claims are. Topuria's coach was saying that he was wanting to vacate and that his weight cut is hard, but Topuria himself came out and said, I will not be vacating as of right now. That's not true at all. So I'm going to believe Topuria on this one, the fighter himself, but he's going to stay champion. I mean, if they're wanting to do the Volk rematch, fine, I guess, but he beats Volk. He beats Volk in a rematch. He knocks him out again. He just does, right? And if he fights a Diego Lopez, I believe he would also knock out a Diego Lopez. Movsar Evloev would be a hard fight, but I don't see that fight coming for a long time. I think the UFC is going to look to hold off on Evloev for as long as they can to, get the Lopez fight, to get the Volk rematch. They want to get those in, and then they will reluctantly give Evloev over to Topuria. They do this kind of thing all the time. They're doing it with Ankalaev, right? And I know Pereira might have something to do with the Ankalaev situation, but that's a different topic. He smokes Lopez. I think purely because, Lopez is dangerous. Lopez has knockout power, he has submission threat, and he's going to be bigger than Topuria. But he's going to be willing to slug with Topuria. And Topuria will knock him out for this, right? Volk, he could be doing very well in this fight until he isn't, and he'll just get caught, backed up to the fence, knocked out, right? Evloev, I think, is a hard fight because Evloev's not going to start trading with Topuria. We'll have to see how Topuria's grappling defense holds up against someone like Evloev. We saw what Evloev did to Sterling, who was a very good grappler. That's a what if. I know that Topuria does have a Greco-Roman background and he has a submission game, but that's not his bread and butter. His bread and butter is boxing right now. And Evloev's bread and butter is grappling. We'll have to see how that fight plays out. But for now, Topuria stays champ till the end of 2025, unless for some reason he decides to vacate. But we're keeping that out of the picture. Topuria stays champ. Moving up, we have Islam Makhachev staying champion. Duh. We got a lot of and stills right here. Pantoja's still champion. Topuria's still champion. Makhachev's still champion. Makhachev beats Sarukian. I think it's going to go to a decision. Neither of them are going to be able to finish each other. I just think that Makhachev has what Arman has, but better. He has better grappling. He has better tosses and throws. I know Sarukian kind of likes to clinch up a little bit. Makhachev has a better clinch game. Makhachev's a better striker. He's a more measured striker. He's not going to go out there and do something stupid to get himself caught by Sarukian. Sarukian has good kicks, really fast kicks, and it's shown that he does have knockout power when he knocked out Dariush. But Makhachev's not just going to let that happen. You know, he's not going to get too close, and he's not going to be too like overzealous to get in the face of Tsarukyan with his hands down. You know, he's a very calculated, very measured striker. Not, you know, an amazing high level GOAT striker by any means, but he's very good defensively, and he's not going to let something stupid happen with Arman. And he's just better at Arman everywhere. He's better than Arman at pretty much everything, and he's going to beat Arman. What'll happen next in terms of the lightweight title picture, I'm not sure. If, and in my opinion, when he beats Tsarukyan, that will be his 4th title defense. He's the lightweight GOAT. At that point, undisputed lightweight GOAT. You can't deny it, all right? After his 4th title defense, it's then 100% undisputed. He might move up to welterweight. We'll have to see how that goes, but for the lightweight title picture, I don't know. They might throw Charles at him again. He beats Charles again. I think he does. I don't know. They might throw... I know they're talking about Dan Hooker and Justin Gaethje. If Dan Hooker beats Justin Gaethje, they might throw Dan Hooker at him. He beats Dan Hooker again like he did the first time. If Gaethje beats Hooker, you know, if they decide to throw Gaethje in a title fight one last time, kind of like they did with Poirier, then Makhachev smokes Gaethje. Maybe they give Holloway to Makhachev. Makhachev beats Holloway. No one's beating Makhachev. Maybe a Yoel Alvarez at some point, but I think he beat Yoel Alvarez too. He beats Paddy Pimblett. He beats Moicano. Moicano's 39. He's not going to get to a title. He's just not. He just doesn't have... He's on very borrowed time, and I don't think he's going to make it. I think he'll make it close to the top 5, but he's just not going to make it. So yeah, Makhachev stays lightweight champion, lightweight GOAT, incoming. Anyways, moving on. Welterweight. Speaking of Makhachev, if he moves up to welterweight, I believe he becomes welterweight champion, regardless of who he fights. That sounds weird. I know. There's a lot of dangerous guys out there, but this might be a hot take. He's a better striker than Shavkat. I think he is. I know Shavkat can be dangerous, but I believe that Makhachev's a better striker than Shavkat. That's my opinion. And he's a better wrestler than Bilal Muhammad. I think he beats either of them. Maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to fight Bilal right now. So if Shavkat beats Bilal, then Makhachev beats Shavkat, in my opinion. And now we can get onto the part where we're talking about Shavkat versus Bilal. I think it's a very close fight. And I'm not saying that because of the recent fight with Ian Gary. I'm not saying that. I kind of held that opinion for a little bit. You know, Bilal's pure wrestling, his pure, shots, his shot is, in my opinion, better than Shavkat's. Shavkat's clinch game, though, is better than Bilal's. His striking is going to be a bit better than Bilal's. I think so. Not by a huge margin, but I do think it'll be enough on the feet to outmatch Bilal. I know Bilal has decent boxing, but I think that Shavkat has better striking. And I think it'll be a very close fight, but I believe that Shavkat will beat Bilal Muhammad and become the welterweight champion. If that happens, then we might see a Makhachev move up. Like I said about Makhachev beating anybody up there, I think Makhachev moving up is dependent on if Shavkat beats Bilal. If Shavkat loses to Bilal, if Bilal retains his title, Islam's not going to move up. I don't think he will. You know, they're kind of bros. You know, I think they both train under Khabib, I think. I know at the very least Bilal used to train under Khabib or trained under Khabib at one point. I think they're, Muslim brothers, so I don't think they're going to fight. But if Shavkat gets that title, I believe Islam will beat him. So, for my final answer for welterweight, I have two answers. Islam or Shavkat. It is entirely dependent on the outcome of Bilal versus Shavkat. And I believe that Shavkat will win. So therefore, if Makhachev moves up in 2025, he'll be champ. Anyways, enough yapping. Middleweight, Khamzat Chimaev. They might drag this fight out until late 2025 because, we got the Strickland rematch going. Chimaev is like 100% likely to win the title if Sean Strickland beats DDP in a rematch. If Sean Strickland beats DDP in a rematch, like I said, 100% chance of Chimaev beating him, in my opinion. The DDP fight is a little harder. DDP does have a bit of plot armor, and he's just really stocky, and he's unpredictable as heck. I do still think, though, that Chimaev will be able to get DDP down. I believe that he will be able to take his back or lock up a submission at some point, and I do believe that Chimaev will be the champion. Because I think he is finally set up for a shot, unless he just gets sick again randomly, which hope not. I really hope not. But yeah, Chimaev, 2025 middleweight champion. Next, light heavyweight. Okay. Excuse me. They said that, or at least Pereira said, it's not going to be the Ankalaev fight. I'm starting to get upset. At this. That it's not going to be Ankalaev. Stop holding Ankalaev back. I get that you guys are mad about, the UFC might be a little bit upset about the Ankalaev and the Jan Blachowicz fight not going how they wanted it to. Maybe they're still holding a grudge against Ankalaev for that one, or maybe Jan Blachowicz for that one too. But come on, man. Give Ank his shot. He's the only other deserving light heavyweight contender to fight for the belt. Let's look at the rest of the top 5, please. Let's just do that real quick. Jamal Hill already fought Alex Pereira, lost by first round knockout, hasn't fought since. He does not deserve a rematch. Yuri Prochazka, he beat him twice, hasn't fought since the second loss. Does not deserve a rematch. Skip that. Jan Blachowicz. Alex Pereira's already beat him. Blachowicz hasn't fought in, over a year? Does not deserve a fight or a rematch, right? So all 3 of those guys are coming off of losses to Alex Pereira. Alexander Rakic, 2-fight losing streak. To Yuri and to Ankalaev. Does not deserve a fight. Olberg, no. Khalil already fought him. See where I'm going with this, y'all? Nikita Krylov hasn't fought in a while. Does not deserve a title shot. Has not had a top fight yet. See what I'm saying? Ankalaev is the only deserving one. Give Ankalaev the shot. Enough rambling. Anyways, I believe they're going to try to drag out the Ank fight. They're not going to want to give Ank the shot for as long as they possibly can, and Ank will keep winning until then. Maybe Ank will fight Yuri. Maybe Ank will fight... Or maybe he'll fight the winner or the loser of Yuri and Jamal. I still don't know why they're making Yuri and Jamal. It seems like a title. It kind of seems like a title eliminator, but it doesn't make sense for either of them. If Yuri beats Jamal Hill, Yuri's already lost twice to Pereira. Why give him another fight? If Jamal Hill beats Yuri, maybe there's a narrative there, I guess. If he beats Yuri, then sure, give Jamal a rematch with Pereira, although I don't want to see it. But, okay. Let's hypothesize, hypotheticals, whatever. Let's hypothetical. Let's say that Pereira and Ankalaev happens. It's scheduled for 2025. It happens in 2025. I'm going to gamble, and I'm going to say Pereira beats Ankalaev. Ankalaev has the grappling to beat Pereira. He says he won't grapple. I don't know, though. Everyone else said they wouldn't grapple, but they're not grapplers. I know that Ankh isn't necessarily a grappler either. He's primarily a kickboxer, but he does have the biggest grappling advantage in my opinion, the entirety of the light heavyweight division. And I don't know that he's going to be very quick to use his grappling against Pereira. He hasn't been very quick to use his grappling against other fighters, and Rakic didn't have too many troubles defending takedowns from Ankalaev. I don't know that Pereira will have too much trouble in the grappling unless Ankalaev becomes Khabib suddenly. If Ankalaev turns into Khabib, then he beats Pereira, but I don't think he's going to turn into Khabib. I think this will be a primarily on the feet battle, and I believe that I believe that Pereira will knock out Ankalaev. It will be a pretty close fight. Ankalaev will have success on the feet, but I believe in the end, Pereira might get it done, and that's my gamble pick. I know the smart pick might be Ankalaev, but I'm going to take a gamble here. Anyways, heavyweight, finally. Hate this division. Another division where they're going to try to drag out a necessary fight. They're going to try to drag this crap out, and I don't know whether Aspinall and Jones will fight or not. If they do fight, I think Aspinall wins. I think Aspinall does beat Jon Jones at this stage in Jon Jones's career, at this age that Jon Jones is at this size that Jon Jones is at right now, and just he's past his prime. He's still an amazing fighter and my personal GOAT, but Jones is past his prime. Aspinall is coming into his prime. He outsizes Jones. He outspeeds Jones. He out-athleticisms Jones. Jones is slow right now. I think Aspinall beats him. Do I think the fight will happen in 2025? I don't know. Jones says he does want the fight, but he needs a crap ton of money. Will the UFC give him a crap ton of money? You know what? In the end, I believe they will give him a crap ton of money. It will be a lot of negotiations, and there will be a lot of waiting, but Jones will take the fight eventually because the UFC will pay him eventually. And then Jon Jones is going to try to stall longer for a bunch of other reasons, and the stalling is just going to go on and on and on and on until finally we'll get the fight in mid-2025 maybe, right? Maybe mid to late 2025. It'll eventually happen, and I think Aspinall will beat Jones and become the champion. On the other side of the coin, Jon Jones doesn't want this anymore and retires. Then Aspinall is either promoted to undisputed champion, or the UFC could decide to screw him over once more, which I could totally see them doing, and make him fight for the title. Instead of just promoting him, they're like, you and, I don't know, Almeida, you and Gon fight to decide the undisputed title. We're going to strip your interim and make this a vacant title fight for some reason. I could actually see them doing that. This is a weird take, but I could see them doing that. Anyways, regardless, Aspinall, 2025 champion. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming to my rambling, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.